All right, this is a really good question. Why would you want to stay in contact with an employer who you're trying to get away from? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I'm going to go over a couple, but we already know that your employer needs to give you your final paycheck on your last day of work. And if you quit your job, they need to give you your final paycheck within 72 hours, or they could be liable for Labor Code Section 203 penalties. Now, there's a couple reasons why you would want your personnel file. So, your personnel file typically includes your pay stubs, your timesheets, any of the policies that you've signed, any of the work, like the employee handbook, and also other documents like performance improvement plans and other reprimands that you've already signed. They should be in your personnel file. Now, why would someone want that? Well, number one, it's always nice to have documentation about the places you've worked. You spent over a third of your life during that time at work, so you might as well get all the information they have on you there. And in addition, if they terminated you for a weird reason, you would want the documentation that they currently have to make sure nothing gets edited. I'm not saying things get edited, but sometimes some employers sometimes lose things for various reasons. Now, another reason you would want it is just imagine if you had to calculate your income for a particular period of time. Then you would want your pay stubs. And sometimes I know a lot of people get them emailed to them, but a lot of employers don't email their pay stubs to people. So you would need to request it from your employer because they're required to have those documents for 3 years after you leave. Now, for another reason you would want those documents is imagine if you don't think you were paid for all the hours that you actually worked. Then you would want to confirm because you would request your pay stubs, you'd request your timesheets, and say that you kept track of the hours you worked in your own notebook or on your own personal calendar, and you start coordinating your timesheets with your personal calendar and you notice there's a discrepancy. Then you know you're owed wages. So I know I just went over a couple of reasons why someone would want their personnel file and their timesheets and their pay stubs, but there's really a lot of different reasons, and there doesn't need to be a legitimate reason because you have the right in the state of California to request it, and your employer is supposed to keep track of those records anyways. So it doesn't matter why I want it. Give me my personnel file because I'm entitled to it under California law.